Hello, and welcome to another look at being married. I'm Caitlin King, here with my handsome husband, Christian, and we are here to talk about the chaos that happened after UFC 229. We have a little bit of a different opinion. Christian seemed to be shocked by what happened. I was not shocked, because when people say mean things to me, my first thought is that I want to punch them in the face. And so I'm able to control that. And I feel like for the most part, Khabib was able to control it until he wasn't. And I'm surprised that this hasn't happened before to Conor or any other fighters that are running their mouth. And I feel like for you, Christian, and probably many others, that this sport has been somewhat of an outlet to kind of deal with frustration or anger. So I'm kind of surprised that you were surprised by what happened.
Okay, so I guess one thing I would say is that probably part of why I was surprised was because the person doing it was Khabib. He is a very level-headed, stoic, respectful, family-oriented person, a very man of faith. So that was more the total shock and disbelief. Definitely had a good something to do with who it was. There are other fighters where I would not have been that surprised if they had done that, if someone was yelling at them. But I was very surprised that Khabib did that. So yes, I was. I was shocked, and frankly, I think it was bad for the sport, and it concerns me. I don't like it. I hate that this was probably the most watched fight of all time, almost guaranteed, at least for MMA. Definitely the most watched, even if it didn't have the most sales because of illegal streaming. Definitely the most watched MMA fight ever, guarantee you. And they saw that. So that bums me out a little bit.
So why do you think that's bad?
I think it's bad because I would like to see the sport, sorry, not the support. I would like to see the sport go more in the direction of continuing to become more mainstream. You know, they just moved to ESPN. That starts up in January. And this just sets the sport back because the people that don't like the sport or don't know the sport often think of it as kind of like human cockfighting is a word you hear a lot, or they just refer to it as cage fighting, and they don't really take it at all seriously the same way they do other sports. And I feel like this type of behavior just emphasizes that more because it shows, this has happened in other sports before, the big NBA brawl, but, this isn't a normal occurrence for sports. And the problem is it's not a normal occurrence for MMA, but on the biggest fight of most viewed fight ever, this is what happened. So I'm afraid it's going to give a lot of people the idea that this is what MMA is about, and it's not.
Okay, I see your point there. I kind of feel like from just a casual viewer, I know we talk about entertainment, and it was definitely entertaining for me to see that.
It was.
And, I feel like if we're talking about things that are bad for the sport, you have Conor trash talking and not showing very good sportsmanship before the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And so Khabib just showed bad sportsmanship after the fight. Yes. I think there's bad sportsmanship going all around, and that they both, if you're going to say, I don't think you can say one person kind of made it look worse or better. Although you could argue violence is a lot worse than words.
Conor did his share of that when he damaged the bus and injured multiple fighters in Brooklyn. So I'd say that they're about even. If anything, Conor's done the worst acts because they both have basically assaulted each other in one instance outside of competition, and then Conor has said a lot more mean things. So I guess you could even say that Conor technically has the karma more coming his way than Khabib. It was very, very surprising to see, or at least for me, obviously you weren't too surprised. But as far as I know, everyone's okay. That's always important. I have no idea what'll happen to Khabib, but I don't know if you have any more thoughts on this in particular. Is there
Not really. I mean, I haven't listened to any follow-ups. I just saw what I saw on Saturday night, and I kind of, like I said, not that shocked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like it's going to be that bad for the sport. I feel like a lot of people are going to be talking about it and
They
drawing
will.
it and bringing attention to the sport.
They will. No, they will. I just wish it was for a different reason. But, you can't always have your cake and eat it too. And if I want the sport to keep getting bigger and bigger, sometimes some ugly things might have to happen that get the bulk of the headlines.
Well, on a lighter note,
Okay.
I prepared a little game for you, just for you, about UFC 229.
Oh, okay. So an event-specific game.
Yeah, it's gonna be UFC 229. Would you rather?
Okay, I think I know how this game works.
Yes. So I'm gonna give you two options, and
Okay.
you're gonna tell me which one you would rather do.
Do I give an explanation or no? Maybe. We'll see.
Limited explanation.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So would you rather get into a body lock and get taken down by Michelle Watterson or Felice Herrig?
I am gonna go with I would rather be taken down by Michelle Watterson. I think it would be, if nothing else, I think it'd be a lot less painful, just smaller,
Okay.
less muscular.
Going for the
So,
winner.
Yeah, going for the winner, which I did pick Felice, so I wasn't the only one who did. So
All right. Awesome. Well, moving on to question 2.
okay.
Would you rather get punched in the face by Conor McGregor's weak UFC 229 striking,
Ouch.
or get punched in the face by Anthony Pettis so hard that he breaks his hand on your face?
Oh man. Well, if Anthony Pettis broke his hand on my face, and Tony Ferguson got hurt from that, then I would almost certainly be knocked out from that, because Tony Ferguson is larger than me and also is known for being one of the most durable fighters. Whereas Conor wasn't seeming to hurt Khabib too much, so I'm going to take my chances getting punched by UFC 229 Conor, and also too, that way I can say Conor punched me, which is a little cooler. Most people will say Anthony Pettis, who's that? Everyone knows who Conor McGregor is.
Great. All right, and this is my last one before we get off of here.
All right.
So, would you rather have to wear Khabib's fur hat,
Okay.
or take a sniff of Derek Lewis's hot balls after UFC
Oh
229?
no! Oh no! Well, I'm definitely wearing that papaka or whatever you call it. I'm wearing the traditional
Oh, no.
Dagestani hat. No way I'm getting anywhere near Derek Lewis.
All right. Well, that is all we have for you guys today. We wanted to keep it pretty brief. Thank you for listening. Again, this is another look at being married with Caitlin and Christian King. See you next time.